So sorry, I interrupted you, but you were saying.
I just wanted to hear from you if you have sort of some future plans about yourself, about your life, and I would be interested to hear or discuss or what.
Yeah, well, I have my investments in Ghana with Paul.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that's pretty much where I'm, hope to derive my income from those businesses.
That's a very good and already proven source.
Yeah, it should be very profitable, and
I am very glad that you have something like that. I'm glad very much so that your future life seems to be very stable.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it looks like it.
That's it. Looks like it. Yeah.
And I could spend time living in Ghana, and I have a
Yeah.
Toronto and Ghana.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go back and forth.
Well,
ideally.
I suppose, but then your personal life is even of greater interest to me because I know how people's lives generally. Nobody is very happy in life alone.
I live alone.
Huh?
I live alone.
Well, yeah, but you are still a youngster.
Right, yeah.
When I say life, I mean the whole span from your age now until you are 60 or 70.
Right, right.
Well, basically the question is, do you consider or have you thought about your personal status? Will you ever get married? Do you have any objections or conceptions or whatever? Personally, I would regard that anyone has a good and happy life is basically married. Because, a companion, that's quite natural from nature, that you should have a close companion, you should fall in love, simple, with a woman.
Right.
And get married.
Right.
Now, what is your opinion about this?
Well, I don't think it seems more unlikely to me that I could get married, because it doesn't seem like such a good idea to me.
Well, why? Why not? I mean,
well, for many.
Don't you see? Haven't you seen the whole world around you? The hundreds of young people and middle-aged people and all. I mean, this fact has been proven millions of times over that for happy people, normally
some people are happier if
they're married.
Yeah, a lot of married people are happy, but I think lots of people who are single are also happy. But to ask.
No. Yeah, I wouldn't deny that they are happy, but there is a happiness sort of like that, and there is a happiness sort of like that, which is the whole life, your lifespan, not like this here or like this here.
What do you mean?
Well, it's difficult for me to explain also, because my memory is weak and flattering, most people need. I mean, that's inborn.
No, I think most men desire women for love or sexual satisfaction.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
No,
that's a strong.
they are the means, and God or general life have arranged it because it has come naturally. Love is a source of happiness. See, and you have to think that not just simple love would be just sex and so on and that's it. No, love gives life stability and many other.
Yeah, but I think throughout history, a lot of marriage could provide stability, but it doesn't need to provide necessarily love. I mean, you can have if the woman's cooking, taking care of the kids, that might have to do with love, or it might not. And I also don't believe in romantic love. I don't think it's a real thing.
You don't believe in what?
I don't believe like love between a man and a woman is a real thing. I think men believe it. Most women, they know it's not a real thing. But
it is.
But women go along with it because it works for them. But a lot of men believe in it because they want to believe in it. But I'm not saying there's other kinds of love, like love between family, love between friends. Those can be real, but that's different.
No. I think everything in your character and in people's characters has developed from sources higher than our mind. Love gives. You know what I mean, but
I don't actually really know what does love give. It's just a feeling. It's not.
No. You see,
it's a passing feeling.
That is the short view. That is what a very clever guy, the God, has sort of combined and that's the picture or
yeah, but not. Why should that be for everyone? Not for everyone.
Love gives.
I don't believe in this love thing. The marriage existed for thousands of years without love. Women had to get married because they needed to have a stable home. They needed a man to provide for them, and men wanted to reproduce. Men want sex and kids, and maybe they want love when they're young. But when they get older, then it's not love anymore. It's just companionship when they get older.
Well,
which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't have a problem with people getting married.
What is the difference between companionship and love? That's the same.
No, love
same thing.
No.
Colored a little bit different or looked from this side.
No. Love is a feeling of romance and hearts and cupids and angels, sugar and spice. That's a strong feeling. It's very intense. It's almost like a sexual feeling.
Sexual feeling.
Yeah, no. It's different. It overlaps. That can last for a year or 2 years, and then it's gone. And then you have companionship, which is a good thing, which is fine. But it's not quite the same as love. Because in companionship, they no longer have love. They have a mutual respect. They have mutual respect. They have a cooperative relationship. And maybe they're like friends. I don't really think men and women can be friends, but they have a friendly relationship. A working relationship, and it's stable, and it can be healthy. I don't think that has to be for everyone, though.
Well, no.
Most men didn't get married. Most men in history did not succeed in reproducing. because they would die, or they would go to war, or they'd emigrate to another place.
No, I'm not reproducing. It is just one.
Well, you get married to reproduce. That's the point of marriage.
No.
That's why marriage was created as an institution. Well, it was also, I think it was created to guarantee that men could get women who wouldn't leave them. Leave them.
Okay, for reproducing, yeah, that is the reason. But love feels, that's only one reason. But love fills all your life, all your little here and there. It fills it all, and it makes life different.
How? I don't get it.
Well,
I don't understand.
Well,
like what? When we were talking earlier,
there are no words. There are no words that can explain.
You're speaking all of a sudden. You're talking like a poet, like a music, like a poet.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're talking to me like a poet. But when I was asking you about your social life, when I was asking you about your friendships,
yeah,
then everything was functional. Everything was logical. But all of a sudden, when love comes up, then it's like love is this wonderful.
Well, okay.
And so
okay.
now it's like
I
don't get it.
Listen, call it what you want, but
most of my friends aren't married. I'd say of the people I know that are close friends of mine, male friends.
Yeah.
Because men and women can't be friends.
Yeah.
Maybe you disagree with me there.
They can be.
No, they can't. No, they're too different. They're too different. They have different minds. They have totally different psychologies. They have different motivations.
What do you think?
I had many female friends. Way more than you did when I was younger.
You didn't have a sister, yeah. If you would have had,
if I had a sister,
one or more sisters, you would.
We wouldn't be friends though. That's family. That's a little different. And a lot of brothers and sisters don't get along. I mean, that's fine. Maybe they get along. They don't get along. That's family. That's family.
Love is the source of family.
No, you're talking about love between a man and a woman, which is like romantic love. I'm saying that I'm saying the other types of love are real, but this romantic love is just an illusion.
You should not split somehow.
Most of my friends aren't married. My male.
Well, then that's too bad.
One of them is married and he serves his wife.
He what?
He serves his wife.
Oh, serves.
She's in control of him. He does whatever she wants. If he wants to go out with his friends,
listen,
he needs permission.
You will find hundreds of characters, different characters.
Yeah, true. You can find bad examples, but I'm just saying that's my personal experience. And then
they will be different in
and then
Canada,
I have
different in Germany or Africa.
Well, there's cultural differences, but across the world, there are certain characteristics for men and for women. Culture has a lot of can have a lot of effect, but I think even apart from culture, there's some pretty basic psychology there, motivations that affect the way men and women are. We can't be friends because a man cannot. Here's what I don't agree with you. A man cannot open up to a woman and talk about his weaknesses, about what's really in his mind, to a woman, because if the woman hears that, she will start talking to her friends right away, and even if she, how will she understand what it's like to be a man? How will she understand what it's like to be a man? And there's a lot of pressure on men. Men are the ones who have to provide. Men are the ones who have to serve society, right? Women don't have to do that. Women are have, privileges, but they don't earn the privileges. But anyways, that's getting off on another topic.
Well, this.
None of my, so it's normal for my generation to be unmarried or
a generation?
Yeah, people born in the 80s and the 90s. Most of us are a lot of us aren't married. I don't know what the overall numbers are. And even those who are married, they don't have kids, which is silly, because why do you get married? You get married to have kids.
No, not necessarily.
Not everyone does that, that's true, but historically, that was the reason for marriage. That was the reason for marriage.
That is the basic reason, to have children, because nature provided that so that otherwise we wouldn't, the earth might be empty.
Yeah. You need some people to reproduce. But I mean, most of them, you don't need all men to reproduce, you just need some of them to reproduce.
Why?
Because a man can impregnate hundreds of women.
Yeah, but that's not meant, you see. You are exaggerating.
Well, a lot of us are descended from
some 20th century.
Think of Genghis Khan or other.
No, you see, you don't talk about principles.
Well, marriage was an institution. Marriage was developed so that more men could reproduce, so that their women wouldn't run away from them and go to some lord or some higher up guy.
No, you are.
No, that's history. I'm talking about real history, real facts.
That's not history. That may.
You're very common sense and functional, and then all of a sudden, until it comes to love.
Well, call it, even if you don't call it, don't have to call it love. Nature, the good nature, at the very end, some influences to which we refer as God, yeah?
Right.
They sort of cleared out of mud or something and formed certain concepts, yeah? And the basic concept is to continue human race.
Right.
And that is the only.
That doesn't necessarily imply marriage, or that may or may not have to do with marriage, and it may or may not have to do with love, continuing the human race. That doesn't have to involve marriage in a different society. I mean, sure.
What do you mean?
Well, yeah, in our society it does, but
well, marriage.
It doesn't have to imply love.
Marriage was just the final development when things were arranged and became,
I don't have anything. Look, I'm not attacking marriage. I don't have anything. I'm not saying it's a bad thing that no one should do. Although I think a lot of men should be really careful, and more men probably should not get married. But I don't want everyone to just stop doing that. I don't even think that would happen. But you were asking me what's my plans. So I'm just giving you my reflections on it.
Listen, the whatever was the real natural reason, or from God or who, that developed man and women, yeah, and that developed what we call love, yeah, producing next generation. But love, I mean, this same principle of which meant men and women to get together, yeah, to produce children. But then, you see, it developed through millions of years or whatever, since they were together, the two opposite creatures, to develop the niceties of life, develop the thing that it works, that it works, and in a fine atmosphere where where the two people love each other, yeah, where they don't hate. When two people understand help is better, things become easier to be done. Practical things develop and become necessary to make people happy, make people satisfied.
Yeah, sure. I mean, great.
All these things is which make love.
Sure, sure. But you can also be happy without being in a relationship.
No.
I mean,
you will never. You will.
Well, you've been fine.
You miss a lot of things, and
you've been single since 1995. You've been single for 23 years. You've been.
You mean me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've been fine.
Well,
you're just as happy, or you're just like you were before.
Well, I am on the half-life, half of being sort of slit off and thrown off, and so the other half did its best to maintain a reasonable happiness.
Yeah, I think you've been fine on your own. You haven't been married, you haven't been with a woman since your wife died.
Yeah.
And you've been fine. So you're alone and you're happy, relatively. Just like anyone else could be happy.
Because I had gone through all the other experiences.
Because you went through all that stuff, but then after 23 years, that doesn't make sense, because then after... What are you trying to say there? Because you went through that, and then that's going to make you permanently happy because you were married?
No, well...
even after your wife dies?
No. I'm saying that, see, these are two separate things, death and life. Death comes and separates people, but people still have the general need or duty to carry on and be reasonably happy. And remember this, you will realize if you stay like this, time will come when you will be, of course, much older, yeah?
No, I'm okay with it. I've accepted it.
Time will come when you will regret.
No, that time is past, because I'm already in my early 30s. The height is at 25.
No.
I think when a male reaches 25 and he's like he still believes in love, and he believes in wanting to get married. He wants it so bad at 25. If you can get past the age of 25, and once you're into your 30s, things start to get better, because then you start to realize that actually, life is okay on my own, and I still have my friends, I still have my pursuits, I can do what I want, I can be in control of my own life.
You don't realize all
I don't believe...
You don't realize all the things that you missed and are missing.
No, I had a relationship when I was in my early 20s, and I've had experiences with women, and I honestly think that your generation, you were too busy working that you never really realized what, that men and women are quite different, because it's not like you really, spent so much time that you got to know how women are. Even though you had a wife, but so what? That can mean anything. But no, I've been happy enough. Anything can happen.
I know.
It's usually the women. It's usually women who say, "What's wrong with you? You have to get married," or "Aren't you seeing someone?" Or, men don't care mostly. You're my grandpa, but you're from a different generation.
That's just that another man.
My dad doesn't have. He never asked me like, "Oh, are you seeing someone?" Or he doesn't.
Because most this are not asked, because they put the tone, the weight of the man. If you will talk, the man, we will get the expression that he's incapable to become a married man because women don't like me.
Well, sure. Then that just, what does that say about them? That just says that they're shallow and that they're probably insecure and they don't have confidence. I mean, to judge someone else because they're not married, I mean, that's just such a low.
Yeah.
That just shows you more about the person making that judgment.
Well, whatever
Okay.
it is, I mean.
Fair enough.
But I just wanted to.
Yeah, I know, that's cool.
I wanted to
no
come
problem.
out. And hoping that you will listen to me. As a wise guy with a good advice. And
no, I always appreciate your advice.
And
I do disagree with you on this point, but
I can
that's
only
fine.
say that time will come if you don't get married. Time will come when you will regret.
It's too late already, so I've accepted that, but what can you do?
No. You still are in prime line to pick up a girl and get married.
This is the city of Toronto. It's not so easy.
Well, I don't know that you may be right there. I don't know these matters.
I could get an Asian girl or an African girl real easy, because then it's just like whatever. But you want me to continue the white race, I think.
That's right. I would advise you to do that.
Well then, yeah. So
you see, the only that's why love comes.
White girls are
that's
spoiled.
Why love
They're spoiled.
comes in, because you fall in love because you are something in your head or heart. There's a mechanism that makes
Yeah, but that happens. But I see that as a clouding. That's a clouding. That's not clear. You're no longer thinking clearly. You're thinking with your heart and your dick, and you're not thinking with your brain.
Yeah, well.
And then you could make poor decisions.
You should not.
More than 50% of marriages end in divorce. More than 50%. I've heard some guy was even saying 70%, but I don't know. More than 50%.
No, that's not.
No, it's a fact.
No, it's not true. I mean, you can.
It wasn't true in your day, but now times are different.
Now,
times are different now.
Right.
Because the laws changed, so that a woman can leave a man and get him to pay her for the rest of her life, and then she can get welfare from the government. So the government is the husband of many women today. Many women. The government is their husband. They married the government.
Yeah, well, I don't know. No, I really hope that. Because then I would.
I'm telling you, most marriages end in divorce.
Then I would be sure that here is a good future for.
Yeah, don't worry. Everything's taken. I make let's say I make a ton of money. I'm not saying I probably won't get married, but some Eastern European woman. Start a family. Probably not going to happen though. Probably not too likely. But,
I wish that you will one day meet somebody, fall in love, and then that's it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, that's all for now. Hasta luego, amigos.
Okay.